stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Just grab my hand from heaven send. We need tonight. I run away.
Welcome back to AutoReview. My name is Patrick and today I have the pleasure to present you the brand new 2018 Opel Grandland X. The Grandland was just introduced a few weeks ago and actually was launched just last week in Switzerland, so it's one of the first cars we get, and I'm happy to present it to you today. So over there where you see the Honda Type R, this is actually Tahoe, the TV show in Switzerland that does a magazine over cars. So I just saw them recording something there. So if you're going to see that one, you'll remember this one. Okay, but before we get to the car, please hit the subscribe button, activate the bell icon so you're informed about any updates and new videos. And thank you very much Bettschen, who provided this car to me. You'll see it there, Bettschen, and you'll find the link in the description so you can call them up or send them an email or contact them anyway and get more information. So now coming to the car. The Grandland X is the third X model from Opel. We have the Crossland X, the Mokka X and the Grandland X or Grandland X. And this one is the biggest of the three. I'll put the measurements somewhere in the video so you'll see the comparison. We have reviewed actually both the Mokka X and the Crossland X already, so I'll link the videos on the top right as well. Just hit the icon and you will be able to get to those videos. So what do we have? For the launch of the Grandland X in Switzerland, we have two engine choices, petrol and a diesel engine. We have the petrol engine here. It's a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder turbo, producing 130 horsepower at 4,000 RPM, maximum torque of 230 Newton meters at 1,750 RPM. Top speed is 188 kilometers an hour and 0 to 100 in 11.1 seconds. The price for the Grandland X in Switzerland starts at 23,800 Swiss francs without any discounts, and the model we have here, which is the Excellence, is the third tier level. Cost, as you will have it here with all the equipment on board, that you will see 41,180 Swiss francs. We have a huge boot from 514 liters up to 1,652 liters, and a few assist systems on board. We have really great AFL light here, LED light, which is really good, and panoramic roof, automatic gearbox, and so on, which you will see in a moment. Now, trim levels, we have four. We have the Grandland X, the Enjoy, the Excellence and the Ultimate. So this is the Excellence, the third one, and without further ado, let's hop in and I will tell you all about it. Enjoy! Okay, so the Grandland X from inside, and as usual we go from left to right. So left side we have the door opener, then we have electric mirrors, which are obviously heated and adjustable with the blind spot assistant. Then we have electric windows, all with one touch function. However, you'll see in the back, the one in the back doesn't open all the way down. Then on the bottom we have a speaker and a little compartment plus a bigger one. However, there's no space for big bottles. On the left side we have the auto lights. As I mentioned, this is the AFL light, which is the LED lights, very nice, very bright, with automatic high beam. Then adjustment of how bright it is, so basically to dim the instrument clusters, and a little compartment, for example, for your wallet or small stuff. Then the steering wheel can be adjusted in reach and rake, and the seat can be adjusted in height as well, and obviously in all other positions. Plus we have a lumbar support, which is electric. Then dashboard, very typical Opel, very clean, very easy to read. On the left we have the RPM, on the right the speedo. On top we have the fuel gauge on the left and the temperature on the right, plus a little display, color display that gives us information on the trip. We have a sign recognition here, the gear selected, then this digital speed navigation and the lane departure assistant. Plus, obviously, you can see as well the check when you have the next service. On the left, we have basically to go through the menu as well as the automatic light, which is a nice feature because you can once turn it on, it basically stays on. Then on the right, we have the wipers, obviously for front and back. Left of the steering wheel, we have the rocker to increase the speed or decrease the speed. We have a speed limiter as well as cruise control. And what I liked as well from the Crossland X, we have that in the Grandland X as well, is the memory function, which I'll show you later when we drive. So basically you drive cruise control, it's 60, the sign recognition will recognize it's a sign of 80. You press once memory, it will take the speed, and you press a second time to engage that speed, and it will take it from the sign, which is really great. On the right side, we have the voice recognition, telephone to go through radio stations, and the mute rocker. Then in the middle, we have the touchscreen, which is built in, nothing that stands out. Left and right of it, we have the vents. Hazard light on the left side. It would be nice if they would make it a little bit more visible, because it's nice from the design point of view. It's the same as on the right side to lock the doors. However, in an emergency situation, I think it would be nicer to see it better. What I really like, we have a physical rocker to turn on the volume. On the bottom we have the air conditioning, dual zone with heated seats for driver and passenger in 3 settings, as well as in the back we have here heated seats in 3 settings for the outer seats. A little compartment which you can basically open and close with a 12-volt power socket and a USB port. However, the problem is this is an iPhone 6 Plus, 7 Plus, 8 Plus, whatever. If I put that in, I cannot close the flap, and it just doesn't fit in any position. So this car was made for people who don't have big smartphones, unfortunately. So then we have tire pressure sensor, lane departure system, start stop on and off, and the parking sensors. We have a 6-speed automatic gearbox with manual function, so put it over to the left and you can shift up and down. And we have a gear indicator as well. Electronic parking brake. Then we have the grip control, which is not an all-wheel drive as I mentioned in the beginning. However, this one you can adjust it from road to snow, mud, sand, and basically turn it off altogether. 2 small compartments, armrest which you can't move forward, however is in a okay position. Would be nice if it would be forward, however if you have the gear in, you can rest it on the gear knob and the armrest. Then once we open it up, we have quite a deep pocket, which you can put a big bottle in here. However, I'm not quite sure how tall it can go, but 0.5 liter won't be a problem. Then the seats are really comfortable. We have the Aktionsgesunder Rücken, which is AGR from Opel, where they are really looking into good seats for people who have maybe something with the back. Me personally, I sometimes have back pain, and these seats are really comfortable. I was driving them in the last 3 days, and not once I had a problem with them. They give you good side support, and I like this diamond step pattern as well. And what I really like as well is the headrests are super comfortable and soft, which is nice. Talking about soft, we have everywhere soft touch, all the dashboard, and nothing is hard other than the center console here. Then we have the automatic dimming mirror, we have the OnStar. OnStar explained in the Mark X video, basically like a concierge service and emergency service. We have the panoramic roof where you can close the blind basically, however you cannot open the roof. Then sunshades with illumination on driver and passenger side, and last but not least we have the Glovebox, which is okay. And one little gimmick they have as well is when they were actually testing the car, and they had always trash. Not always, they had trash in the car that was flying around. So there is a little hook here where you can hook your trash back, and then you can do it around here, close it, and the trash will not fly around, which is a great little feature. Now, this is as much for the front. Let's check the second row and how much space we have there, and I'll tell you all about it. Okay, so the Grandland X from the second row, and as you can see, the seat in front is adjusted to my height. I'm 184 high, and you can see I have sufficient legroom, which is nice. I'm not even touching the seats, and if I sit the normal way, then I have even more space. The doors open wide enough, I think. Then we can close them. We have a bigger compartment in the front. Here will fit smaller bottles. Then, as I mentioned, the electric window doesn't go all the way down, so you have a little piece left, which isn't too great, but okay. You can see as well we have tinted windows from the B-pillar all around in the back. Then obviously the electric window. We have compartments on the back side of the front seats where I can put, for example, now I can put my phone somewhere. In the middle we have the air ventilation. However, you can't adjust the temperature or the speed. You can basically just close and open the flaps and adjust it towards where you would like to have the wind. Then heated seats in 3 settings for left and right, which is nice. 1 USB port and 1 220 volt power socket, which is great. So one will have to take the big plug, one needs a USB port. Then again, the same design as in the front. We have an armrest. Here we have 2 cup holders. However, I doubt if you have some bigger cups that they will stand very safe here. And they are just plastic, there's no rubberized, and they're not adjustable as well. You can open this one to basically get things through the boot, for example skis, if you're a skier, or if you get something building material. We have ISOFIX on the left and right, and last but not least, 2 reading lights, because they couldn't put them in the roof, they had to put them here. Handle, no hooks, so you can't hook anything. 1 little window here and quite a small window in the back. Which we'll see when we check the boot now. So let's go and do that. Okay, so as you can see, we have a black car and we have the tinted windows, as I mentioned, from the B-pillar around. On top we have the shark fin antenna, little spoiler with a 3rd brake light, the wiper, then super sleek rear lights, red and white. Looks very nice in my opinion. Then on the left we have the Grandland X, Opel logo in the middle and turbo on the right. Then parking sensors on the bottom, and which looks like an exhaust, which it isn't, very thin, so you basically have no visible exhaust. The parking sensors there, and to open the boot you have to actually reach really low above the plate, and you can either do it this way, or I'll show you as well in a moment, we can basically bring this one up. Once you hold it for 3 seconds, it will remember basically this height for your garage. So when we close it now, it should not open all the way up, but to that level we set. And you can open it with the key as well, this way, or we have a sensor when you come with some luggage or something groceries. You swipe on the bottom left, and as usual it doesn't work. Let me do it again. Here we go. And now let's see if it opens only to that level. And you see it does. So now we bring it up all the way and you keep it 3 seconds pressed again, and it's saved. So boot space, we have, as I mentioned, 514 liters up to 1652 liters. We have the release of the seats on the left and right. If I do that, they then fold forward. However, you have to see with the headrests if they are up or not. Then 12 volt power socket, a light on the left, some smaller compartment here, and below that we have as well deep second floor hidden compartment, so I can put a lot of things inside. So let's close it, and as well one test. So in case there's anything in the way, it will basically avoid that your hands will be crushed or anything like that. So now, without further ado, finally let's drive. So let's drive the Grandland X, but before we drive it, I actually want to show you one thing, and that's the reverse camera. So we have a 360-degree reverse camera. However, as you have seen in this camera now, it takes some time for this car to appear, so sometimes a few seconds. And I have to say the resolution is not good at all. It's very, not pixely, but it's not high definition clear camera. The one in the front is the same thing. What is nice that you have the lanes that moving as well, but I wish they would have included a better camera. If you put the reverse key in, you have the mirror basically going down on the right side so you don't hit the curb. That's a good thing, but just as an information, so don't expect 4K or full HD camera resolution on the reverse camera. Okay, so the engine, and you do hear it a little bit. Obviously it's a 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, and let's go left side here. However, it's actually good to drive, and again, we have to get used to the fact that car manufacturers will not build cars with big engines anymore, really. not the ones that buy or basically build reasonable cars like Opel, Nissan, and so on and so on, as long as it's not a sports car. So, however, that being said, the engine is actually not bad at all. I mean, 3-cylinder, 130 horsepower, it's good, it's sufficient. And what's more important is how does it work with the 6-speed auto gearbox, and how does it behave in regards to fuel consumption. And I had tested over 250 kilometers now, a fuel consumption of 6.4. Now it went up to 6.6 because we were obviously filming the intro and so on and so on. Now, my usual test of the cruise control, and we are not able to engage it at 30 kilometers an hour. 1 minus point. What I do like about the car is the space it offers you, the boot space, the ride comfort, how to get in and out. It's very easy to get in and out. Obviously, it's a bit elevated. And I love the seats, as I mentioned, very comfortable, and I love the AFL LED, BLED headlights. They're amazing, they're great. The automatic high beam works well. However, it's not as sensitive as some other brands I tested, where they pretty much on the spot turn off the high beam when there's a car coming, or when there is actually you're following a car in some distance, because this one kept it on quite longer than what I've seen in other brands. Now, one thing that I like is that we have USB in the front, we have USB in the back, we have a 12 volt in the front, and a 220 volt in the back, which is good. So pretty much 4 people are covered. It depends on if you have an adapter or not. However, what I don't like is that I can't put my phone anywhere without it flying around. It will not fit in here. It's too big for this spot. It's kind of okay this way, but I don't know, it would be nice if this flap would have been wider and just fit my phone. Because even if you could fit your phone and you would like to charge it, again, it would be too small. So it only works for old, small smartphones. Now, gearbox works well. There's a good harmony between the engine and the gearbox. You do hear the 3-cylinder a little bit out, obviously. Now let's go on the highway because I want to show you how it sprints. But I think it's sufficiently powered, though the car is big. Again, at the moment we have the 1.2 3-cylinder petrol engine with 130 horsepower, and we have the 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged diesel producing 120 horsepower. This one has 230 newton meters, the diesel has 300 newton meters. And the platform for the Grandland X is actually the same as the Peugeot 3008, and as you might know, Peugeot actually bought Opel, and therefore there will be more joint, attempts to build platform-wise cars in the future. And because of that, we know as well, or we hope that there will be a 165 horsepower petrol engine coming as well, and a 180 horsepower diesel-powered engine, and maybe a plug-in hybrid, but that we're not quite sure because Peugeot is planning on that. Again, space-wise is great, fuel consumption is not bad, it's fine for the size of car. One thing that I do find a little bit disappointing is that you can't get it as 4x4. And if you look at the competition, the Volkswagen Tiguan or the Ford Kuga, they are available as four-wheel drives. And I think this is something that Opel is missing out, because the only model they have at the moment from this X range is the Mokka X. Yeah? And if you'd like to have something bigger, then there's tough luck, you just don't have it. Now, 6th gear, 100 kilometers an hour, we have RPM of 1,800, which is good. Noise level is not bad. We do hear a little bit wind from the mirrors, which are actually really nice and big. You can look out from the back as well, even though it's very small, tiny window. But again, you have the reverse camera and you have the parking sensors as well. Air conditioning works fine. I love the heated steering wheel, which is something that Opel is putting in their cars since a long time, and you can get it even in a small model like the Karl or Karl Rocks. Now, the panoramic roof is really nice. Unfortunately, you cannot open it. And price is 23.8 for the small petrol engine with the manual gearbox is actually not bad, to be honest. And obviously, these are the suggested retail prices, and usually car manufacturers have some kind of offers ongoing. So please, if you're interested in the Grandland X, head over to Bettschen. Link is provided in the description, and just check their website and contact them to see how you can configure it. Again, 4 trim levels: Grandland X, Grandland X Enjoy, Grandland X Excellence, which is this one, and Grandland X Ultimate. And my recommendation is, well, a lot of people are confused and insecure about diesel engines, but I think the diesel would be even better in regards to fuel consumption. You have more torque. As far as I was informed, the adaptive cruise control is only available with the diesel and automatic. Again, some things that I'm not quite understanding, why certain engines are not working with certain options. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share the video, like it, comment below, leave any questions if you have, and most important, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell icon so you're informed. In my opinion, it's a good car, really nice, soft touch everywhere, works well. Few things, yes, reverse camera, space here, and that the cruise control starts at 40 kilometers an hour. That are things that I would like to have improved. But again, below 40 doesn't work. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Have a good day and see you next time. Bye.